In 27 BCE, the Roman Senate presented their new ruler, Augustus, with an extraordinary gift to display in the Curia Julia. It was a ceremonial golden round shield, inscribed with 4 personal virtues: courage, mercy, justice, and devotion. The choice of shape was deliberate, but historically curious. By this time, the visual symbol of the empire's military might was the curved rectangular scutum carried by the legions. Augustus bypassed that iconic battlefield silhouette entirely. Instead, he reached back into the deep past. Long before the rectangular scutum, Rome's wealthiest early citizens fought as heavy infantry in a shared Greek, Etruscan, and Italic military tradition. Their signature equipment was the Clipeus, a massive, shallow-bowled circular shield. By Augustus's day, that archaic equipment was completely obsolete on the front lines. To understand how a relic of early tribal warfare evolved into an emblem of imperial propaganda, we have to look closely at how its physical hardware dictated Rome's original way of war. This bronze facing is the Bomarzo shield, our best physical proxy for the early Roman Clipeus. It originally covered a wooden core. Despite a wood structure, a shield this size weighed 7 to 9 kilograms, creating an immense physical burden. Its defining mechanical feature is the grip. An arm slides through a central band to grab a rim hand grip, distributing the load. This rigidly locks the shield's position. Unable to pivot freely, soldiers relied on neighbors, mandating a tight phalanx line. While a wall of overlapping circular shields offered excellent collective defense for spear-thrusting infantry, the 2-point grip severely restricted a soldier's individual mobility. During the 4th century BCE, Rome expanded its territory out of the plains and into the varied, broken terrain of central and southern Italy. Against agile enemies navigating hills and valleys, a rigid phalanx line prone to breaking apart became a severe tactical liability. This is a rare surviving Roman scutum, the solution that eventually became standard heavy infantry equipment. The historian Polybius describes these as convex shields built from layers of glued wood, wrapped in canvas and calfskin, offering extensive vertical coverage. The crucial mechanical difference lies behind the iron center. Instead of strapping the shield to the forearm, the scutum uses a single central hand grip protected by the metal boss. This completely frees the arm from the 2-point lock. With the shield detached from a fixed posture, a legionary could maneuver it independently. He could rest it on the ground, punch forward with the metal boss, and create the physical space needed to hurl heavy javelins and fight fluidly with a sword. Changing a simple handle design allowed the Roman army to transition from static, group-pushing spear lines to a dynamic, loose order system of highly mobile swordsmen. The Roman historian Livy claimed this transition from round to oblong shields happened precisely when soldiers first began receiving pay, presenting it as a neat, deliberate military overhaul. The archaeological and historical consensus reveals a much more complicated reality. There was no overnight reform. The shift was a slow, messy process spanning decades, as Roman armies absorbed tactics and equipment from Greek, Etruscan, Samnite, and Celtic neighbors. Rome's battlefield advantage lay in its ruthless pragmatism. They were willing to scrap their oldest, most venerated ancestral traditions the moment a foreign innovation proved more effective. Centuries later, the familiar curved rectangular scutum began to fade, and circular and oval forms reappeared in the Roman infantry lines. We see this clearly in 3rd century CE archaeological finds from the military base at Dura Europus. But these late Roman round shields are built entirely differently. Peeling back the front facing reveals flat, joined wooden boards and a central horizontal hand grip. They operate on the mechanics of the scutum, completely disconnected from the archaic strapped forearm tradition. A circular silhouette alone cannot prove a piece of equipment belongs to the ancient Clipeus tradition. When examining historical armor, physical shape is evidence, not a complete identity. By the late Republic, the true heavy Clipeus had completely vanished from the battlefield. Yet precisely because it was no longer a tool of war, the circular form acquired a powerful second life in Roman public art. The Romans began creating imaginis clipiatae, shield portraits. In this marble relief, a distinct circular frame surrounds the faces of gods, ancestors, and honored citizens in public spaces, which brings us back to that golden presentation piece in the Curia. Augustus utilized the circular outline of Rome's ancient heavy infantry, leveraging the memory of a virtuous citizen militia to legitimize a newly established imperial regime. The Clipeus started as a physical necessity for early tribal defense, but its lasting legacy proves that an obsolete weapon's most important function is rarely won in the mud and blood of combat. It is won by shaping the historical memory of the state.